Moving on to board 7. We had two spades was intermediate jump over call. And so, Gavin, you took quite a while to bid 5 hearts here. What were you thinking about here?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a five-level decision. I don't usually bid very fast when I know that my action is gonna swing the board. I mean, I was just thinking about who's making what, and I was trying to figure out. I mean, the guy he made an intermediate jump on my left. I was trying to figure out if it was our hand or their hand. I couldn't figure that out. Eventually, I just decided that it could easily be what they're making, we're making, and so
I don't think anybody at the table knew whose hand it was on this one.
no.
But
Usually, if you don't know whose hand it is, you should be bidding.
I was
yes,
happy with
and
my hand; they didn't double really fast.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
And so the play in 5 hearts was it was not very interesting. But switching over to the other table, we have sort of playing off of the when you don't know whose hand it is, bid one more. They
Well,
had
I
a
had
very similar auction.
I had a better chance, certainly because I just made a one spade overcall, and partner pushed it all the way up to 4 spades. So, holding Jack third of hearts, it looks like partner has 0 or 1 heart. I was not concerned that 5 spades was going to go down too many, but I was picturing leading the ace of diamonds against 5 hearts and getting a signal from partner and potentially underleading my spade to get my ruff. So when dummy showed up with a stiff king of spades, it was kind of deflating because now I didn't think we were going to beat it anymore. And if we are able to to guess the spades declaring the hand, it could be a good sack. But I think there's just so much of a likelihood that we're going to be beating 5 hearts.
It was funny because when he led the ace of diamonds, for whatever reason, I could feel him like deflate when he saw the king of spades and dummy. I almost made a comment at the table saying like, "Oh, you want to underlead the spade?" Because I knew he obviously had singleton ace of diamonds on lead, so
Right.
it was
It's
like
funny
so
how you
clear
can
that
pick
the
that
king of
up.
spades was just like the worst card he could possibly see.
It's funny how you can
Yeah,
pick that up even through BBO.
you have your online table feel.
Yeah.
That's it's certainly something to work on developing. But moving on to board 8 here, we have the main thing here was the takeout double by Gavin's hand, which most of us would probably consider to be fairly normal, but it's not exactly part of the textbook.
Yeah, it's everything. I mean, you have support for the other three suits. You have an opening hand, and it's all my points are outside of diamonds. With 30, when you're non-vulnerable, it's really important you bid. And I strong. I see people make the bad bid of overcalling a spade sometimes with these 4 card suits. It just has no. It's so. I mean, there's some upside, but it's just so much less up. It's such a unilateral bid. Take a double, just get your hand off your chest, and your problem is that this hand isn't going to get easier to bid at the second turn. Is that when it goes a diamond pass, a heart pass, 2 hearts, I don't have a good takeout double of 2 hearts. I would have to double. I could never. At some point, we'd have to bid and get in the auction because it looks like I have a perfect hand to be declaring 2 spades.
Right, and the sooner you get in and get out, the better, for sure. And,
As Kit the Cowboy Woolsey would say, you double and then you fold up your cards and you're done for the auction.
Yeah.
And occasionally, if they redouble, you run for the nearest exit.
Well, yeah.
But
we don't worry about those little problems.
Exactly, those are quite rare. But so then your double of 1 spade, Steve. What would 2 spades have been in this auction?
Well, we actually played 2 Q bids, and jumps are preemptive. So if I bid 2 diamonds, the way I played with Bobby and the way Gavin and I were playing it, it would show an invitational hand in hearts, and 2 spades would show an invitational hand in clubs. So the only way to show spades is either to double right away or to pass and bid them later. But passing and bidding them later commits us to a higher level. So double shows that I have at least 4 spades and penalty double enough values to say it could be our hand, allowing my partner to bid 2 spades if it's right.
Right, and it also protects you against the Sykes as well, I suppose. And,
Right.
it's a fairly common one, actually.
It's true. I'd be a little bit more worried if they were playing precision and they were favorable.
It was a funny spot. I took a while to pass 1-0. It was weird. I knew we had an 8-card fit in half the deck, but suddenly it just seemed more attractive to defend 1 Trump than it did to play 2 spades. Like, well, you know, when with the 4-1 spade break, I mean, he could have been psyching, and then we would have could easily have just stole the board from us if 1-0 was making and he was psyching 1 spade. But it just seemed like I had so many losers and.
Yeah, 3 low in both red suits looks pretty awful in this auction, I must say.
Yeah.
And,
plus, if he was psyching, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to come back with 2 spades anyway. Or double.
Yeah, I was, you know, if he had 3 spades and we had a 4, you know, if we had 4 cashing spades or something where your diamonds are not as good for defense and.
Yeah, I mean, I just would point out to our listeners, I really wouldn't focus too much on the opponent psyching in general, but certainly I wouldn't worry about it unless they're a favorable vulnerability or they're a precision pair that's known to be aggressive, because you're going to be looking for things that aren't there.
Right. Even if they aren't.
Just for the record, my what do you call it when your coaches look at the game tape and they give you the pregame analysis? I don't know if East is the one who we got the what's the tape, the tail of the tape. He was active, so. Yeah, I added him back of my mind.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of these situations,
take a scouting report. Yeah.
Right, even if they aren't psyching necessarily, you know, a lot of times it's still very important to, you know, recover your 4-4 spade fit, or sometimes even 5-4 fit. You know, just because they bid a suit doesn't mean that you can no longer play there.
Right. We see Ari bid Jack 4th earlier. And here Jack 4th is bid again, so seems to become a pattern.
Well, so I mean, talking about the bid, I mean, I had the same problem with Diamond Double, and I chose to pass this time. My hand just seemed so crummy. I didn't really want us to be declaring the hand if we didn't have a fit. I mean, suppose the auction goes something like a diamond, double, a spade, and suppose South bids 2 hearts. And partner makes a support double. Well, now I've committed us to play in 2 spades, I guess, and it's just not going to be good.
Yeah, I like a 1 Trump response better than a spade when you're not non-vol against non-vol.
I really like pass though. I mean, I like 1-0 better than a spade, but I think it's more of a real hand that partner can count you for, and I think 1-0 is going to get you in trouble with this 4-3-3. I think pass is a pretty classy bid.
The problem is that then when 1 spade pass back to me, and well, this isn't good. Now the opponents are in their, you know, crappy fit, but only at the 1 level. But I kind of, you know, I thought about bidding 1-0, but I felt like that wouldn't play very well, you know, with it. Like them likely getting, you know, 4 spade tricks and you know, whatever else.
This is one of those hands where you write 80 on the scorecard and you can't stand it, you know.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the other thing about 1-0 is like I have a 6 count. Partner has at most, you know, 14 probably. So it's like we have at most half the deck, and we could have significantly less. You know, partner could have an 11 count.
Yeah, it sucks to let the opponents play at the 1 level and make 80 when you have half the deck. This might have been par on the hand. I don't know if it was. Maybe 2 hearts makes it.
Right, but yeah, it's always kind of sad to go minus 80 in general, especially when you like really wanted to bid at any point.
And the other thing, partner didn't double 1 spade, right, with shortness. So partner, you know, doesn't have a good hand.
Right. All right. Anything else to touch on this hand in the play?
Gavin made a good shift to the Queen of Clubs at some point.
Yes. Yes. So started with
good shift for once you've seen the suit combination at trick 2, you could slow down. I mean, right at trick 2, as soon as I saw dummy, it was very clear cut that at some point in the hand I was going to be playing the Queen of Clubs. So the Queen of Clubs, just for those of you who haven't seen a smother play, is basically you. If I played the Ace of Clubs and a club, then Declarer's Jack will get a trick. If I play the 10 of Clubs, they can duck around to the Jack. But by playing the Queen, I force Declarer to play the King, and then knowing my partner at some point will play a club through to score my 2. But so once you've seen that play, this it was sort of standout. It was just a question of when I would do it, not so. Yeah.
Right,
Actually,
and once
I believe-
Steve won the King of Diamonds, you knew that he had
I
another
knew the
diamond
whole-
entry
yeah,
as well.
I knew it was down one. As soon as he won the King of Diamonds, the hand was over, and I had a complete read of the hand.
I was very surprised when I led the 7 of spades that Gavin made it so that he was going to win the last round of spades because I thought he wanted me in, but when he did it, I'm like, all right, he's got a good reason. This is all pretty cool. So he did.
And just to be technical, the actual name for Gavin's play in the club suit is not a smother play, but a surrounding play.
That's surrounding play. Right.
Alrighty. Anything else here, or go ahead and move right along?